We are going to look at finding the area of a triangle given the coordinates. My name is Kaziba Steven, and this particular method we are going to look at, we call it the shoelace method. Sometimes they can call it the surveyor's formula, and sometimes people call it the Gauss's area formula. So the way you see how the shoelaces are made is the same way we are going to use this approach. And this method is that mathematical method that we can use to find the area of a polygon when we are given the coordinates. Take an example. If this is our polygon and this is our triangle, assume me that this is one of our vertices and this one is x1, y1. This is x2, y2, and this is x3 and y3. So if I want to obtain the area for this particular one, I'm going to arrange my vertices. So you're going to allow me to call this A, to call this B, and call this C. So I'm going to arrange it in a way that I'm going to have it like this, whereby I'll have A. A is going to be my starting point, and I'll have it as x1, y1, that is the coordinate. From A, I'm going to move to B here, and my B here is x2, y2. From there, I'm going to move to C. This is where I have my C, and my C is going to be x3, y3. And then from C, I'll come back to A. So my A is going to be x1, y1. Now, in order for me to be able to use this approach of the lace, you know very well that when you are having your shoelace, you can start in this format. So I'm going to have this format whereby I'm going to get the first sum, what I'm calling sum 1. Sometimes I can allow me to call it A1. So sum 1 is going to be, I multiply x1, y2. Then after that, I go to the next one, which is going to be plus x2, y3, plus the next one here, which is going to be x3, y1. Then I'll have the second sum, which is sum 2, which I can call A2. And A2 is going to be, I'm going to go back and still I do the same. AB is going to be this, which is x2, y1 plus, I'll come here, which is x3, y2. Then I'll come here, and this will be my x1, y3. Now, in order for you to obtain the area of the triangle, our area of the triangle is going to be equaling to 1 out of 2, the magnitude of your sum 1 minus the sum 2. Or I can still write it as 1 out of 2, my A1 minus the A2. So this is the formula that we are going to use in order for us to be able to obtain. So when you look at the approach here, the way we are crossing, it's like the shoelace. That's why we call it the shoelace method. We can look at the first example. We have a triangle with the vertices. So when this is our triangle, still we shall arrange. So we are going to start with our P, which is 2, 0. Then we go to Q, which is 4, 1. Then we come to R, which is 2, 2. Then we come back to P to cross, which is 2, 0. Then we are going to find our sum 1, or which we call A1. I've called it A1 to represent the first sum. So I'm going to come and say that is 2 times 1 plus, I'll come here, which is 4 times 2 plus, I'll come here, which is 2 times 0. So 2 times 1, I'll have 2 plus 4 times 2, which is 8, plus 2 times 0, which is 0. So I end up with 8, 2 plus 8, which will give us a 10. Then from there, I'm going to go to my sum 2, which I can call A2. So A2, I'll do the same. It will be like that, which is 0 times 4 plus I'll have this, which is the 1 times 2 plus I'll have this, which is the 2 times the 2. So this will give us 0 plus 2 plus 2 times 2, which gives us the 4. So here we shall have 2 plus 4 plus 0, which will give us a 6. So what are we going to do now to find our area of the triangle? We shall have 1 out of 2 magnitude. We have A1 minus A2. It doesn't matter whether you have started with A2 minus A1, still you'll get the same answer. So this one will give us 1 out of 2 magnitude. This is 10 minus 6, which will give us 1 out of 2, 10 minus 6, which gives us, that is a 4. And then when you divide, here we shall end up with 2 square units. So that is our area. Then the second activity, we have a triangle with the vertices this. Still you do the same. Yes, still you do the same. So we shall have A1, which is negative 2, 2. And then I have B, which is negative 8, 2. Then I'll have C, which is negative 2, 10. Then I come back to A, which is going to be negative 2, 2. So the way I have explained that if you have this as your triangle, this is A, B, and C. So from A, you go to B. That's why here we have A to B. Then from B, I come back to C, B to C, and then from C, I'll come back to A. So C to A. It is also okay for someone can start from the other way around. You can start from B, you go to C, you go to A, you come back to B. As long as what you started with is what you end with. So from here, we are going to first get our first sum. So I'm going to come here and I call it A1. That's what I'm calling A1, which is going to be negative 2 times 2 plus the second one, which is going to be negative 8 times 10 plus the third one, which is going to be negative 2 times 2. So this will give us negative 4 plus negative 80 plus negative 4. And this one will give us negative 88. Then after that, I get the second sum, which I am calling A2. So to obtain A2, still I do the same, this times this, which will give us 2 times negative 8 plus this times this, which will give us 2 times negative 2 plus this times this, which will give us 10 times negative 2. So this will give us negative 16 plus negative 4 plus negative 20. So this one will give us negative 40. Then we go back to our area. So we know that the area will be given by 1 out of 2 into A1 minus A2. So when we substitute into that, this will give us 1 out of 2 into negative 88 minus negative 40. Now, this would be 1 out of 2 magnitude negative 88 plus 40, which would be 1 out of 2 magnitude negative 88 plus 40 will give us a negative 48. But since we have the magnitude absorbs the negative. So magnitude of negative 48 is the same as 48. So from there, we shall end up with our area having a half times the 48. And from there, we can reduce by 2, 1 by 2, 24. So we remain with 24 square units. So that is how you can find the area of a triangle or any polygon using the shoelace approach. Thank you. And let's continue utilizing this approach since it makes our work very easy.